Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Aisha May. So I am doing an updated video on building in the Gambia. I did that video a few years back. I didn't even look at the time actually, but it was before we moved into our house, and we are now in our house. And to be honest, my dad was the one that mentioned to me that we should do an updated video because there's so much that we need to share. And there's so much that we learnt after that last video. So I'm here with my dad. I'm going to introduce him in a minute. He's going to give you certain information that I don't know, because it wasn't me personally that bought the land and did etc etc. So yeah, so that's why he's here with us. FYI, in the last video we did mention exact prices for specific things like the architect and physical planning. As it's some years later, those prices have now changed. However, I don't know the exact prices now, and to be able to get something like that, especially in terms of physical planning, it depends on the size of your land and how big you want to build your house. And the same with the architect, like the size of the house that you want and everything. So I can't give you those exact prices, I'm sorry to say. I know some people might ask me, but I'm just going to let you know from now, just to answer that question for you ahead of time. Anyway, this is my dad. I don't think I've ever actually said what your name is or anything online. Anyway, this is my dad. This is Abdul Rahman.
Pa Abdul Rahman.
Pa Abdul Rahman. Yes. So in what year did we buy it? Or did you, not we?
2019.
Yeah, so we bought the land in 2019.
In July 2019. And construction started in September 2019.
Yeah. So in the last video we went through some stages. So we went through stage 1, which was buying the land. Stage 2, which was getting an architect / physical planning. And then stage 3, which was the start of the build. We didn't go into stage 4 in terms of the finishing because we weren't at that stage at that time, so we will go over that. So we're just gonna kind of like briefly go through the stages up to stage 3 and then update you at stage 4. So the first one, yeah, was buying the land. So as Dad said, it was bought in 2019.
Yeah. And construction started in September 2019. And when did the finishing start? I don't remember. I think the finishing started in about 2020. I think it was that the finishing stages started. Yeah, 2020 that the finishing started.
Yeah. And
yes, that was a surprise to us really, because at the end of the day, when we were given, like say, the price for the building that we wanted building, the assumption was that the price, the bottom price was it. You're going to be able to sort of move into your house for that price that you saw on the contract.
Yeah, so if we just explain a bit there. So basically at the time we were given a contract. There were different stages. They had didn't have the foundation or foundation of the house. So you paid up to certain points, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you paid up to the foundation point. Once that was completed and you're happy, moved on to the next stage. Once that was completed, happy, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So according to the contract, you were supposed to pay for certain things, which turned out a bit differently.
Yeah.
But let's just wait, because that's stage 4. So let's just go from stage 1 first.
Yeah.
So the buying the land.
Yeah.
So what type of land did you buy again?
The land was about 20 meters by 40 meters. That's what it was. It was leased land as well.
Yeah. So
because the leased land apparently was supposed to be a lot more secure than, like, say, any other land that you can buy here. It's not the same as leased in the UK.
Yeah.
Leased stuff in the UK never belongs to you, but apparently that's a different kettle of fish altogether once you're here.
Yeah.
It's a different system altogether. So yeah, so in the end it was a leased land that we did get. and we were assured that it's better than any other sort of land that we could have got. So yeah, we're happy with it.
Yeah, and it was more protected because there have been instances when people have bought land and it turned out that it wasn't the person that owned it. So it's very important to make sure that you see the paperwork of the owner, that you have a lawyer that can help you through that process as well.
Yeah, I'd say whatever you do, you should always have a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's what I basically believe, is that if you don't, then things can get a bit sticky. And it's always better that it's better that you pay for something. You pay a good lawyer rather than you just going for an average lawyer. Because the good lawyer, well, the experience that we've had is that the good lawyer that we had that was doing the transaction for us, there was no problem. Anytime we communicated with them, it was easy to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And so far we've had no problems, and so we're happy.
Yeah, we're still here, obviously.
We're still here, and no one's come to claim the land or anything like that. So yeah, so it's all good.
Yeah, and for anybody that is interested in buying land, I do know somebody that's very reliable and trustworthy that you can use. I will put their information, Trawally Estates, I'll put the information in the description box below. And then I think that was it for the land part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you do want more information, just see my last video. The only thing that I need to say is that the lawyer that we did use is no longer available anymore. So you will have to seek your own lawyer. You won't be able to actually use the information I had there about that lawyer that we used at the time. So stage 2, Eddie, the architect.
Stage 2 was the architect, which was okay because we got the architect and he sort of gave us some drawings, showed us the drawing. We looked at the drawing and thought, oh, this looks rather nice. Well, I mean, the first drawing that he gave us, to be quite honest, we never liked it because we wanted, the way that we wanted the house to be built was the fact that you have, like, say, the lounge central to the house.
Yeah, the main house, yeah.
The main house, and then you've got the kitchen in front of it, and then after that you've got 2 bedrooms either side.
Yeah.
And things like that. So, but the way that he had it set up before, it was like, say, he had the bedrooms scrunched up in a way that it just looked.
I never saw that one.
No, you didn't.
No,
you didn't. That's
yeah.
before you
That
got
I came,
here.
isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
before you got here.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
Yeah. So I mean, even that, because I mean, you wouldn't have liked it.
Ah.
It was cool.
Well, I suppose what's good is that he was able to rectify it.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's just that we just said to him, no, we don't really sort of like this, so we changed it.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
things like that. Yeah, so after all of that was done, and then drawings were sent off to physical plan, and we started to do. The first thing that we did do on here was to put a borehole.
So that is now stage 3. So
Stage
the first one for physical planning, you do have to submit your paperwork, isn't it?
Yeah.
To
The plans, yeah, this physical plan.
Yeah.
So submit it to physical. Well, the architect did all of that basically.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you can actually get, and sometimes even the construction company can do that for you as well, because it can be a laborious process. So it would be good if you do know somebody that can help you with that part of it. It just, makes it easier for you. Yeah, so did that part. And also what's important to tell people is that you can, from at that time anyway, I don't know now, but you can actually start building.
I'm sure
once you hand in your papers to physical planning.
Once you've handed your papers to physical planning and all that, it's like it's not like in the UK or in the West where you have to wait for planning permission and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's great about here is that there aren't no bloody planning inspectors that you have to be dealing with.
Yeah, but that's not 100% great though. Because, I mean, it's good to a point, because I get what you're saying it, because it's good to a point because you can just get on with things.
Yeah,
but then I've seen some crazy builds and some things that people have done that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, well that's it. That's the bad side of it. The good side of it is that as soon as you submit your drawings, you can then just start your building work, which is a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
There's not too much red tape and you don't have to be there. The other thing that I know that normally happens in the West is that if you are building, you have to do like, so you dig the foundation and then you have to get some paperwork to pass the fact that, well, when you dig the hole for the foundation, you have to get paperwork for it to be passed. And then after that, when you start doing the foundation, you reach to a certain state, then you have to get more paperwork.
Yeah, so it's constant.
So it's constant.
Yeah.
And you're constantly paying for all of these things. Whereas here, you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
You just do your foundation, you get a reliable person that does the foundation for you. And once the foundation is done, then you can start the building.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that I would say, if they did have that check, then they would have noticed that our foundation was a little bit twisted.
Yes, that's there you go. Just a little bit.
It's a little bit twisted, Daddy.
I thought we were supposed to give away secret.
No, but the guys that did it, they were good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They were very hardworking and consistent.
Yeah.
And got the job done, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Look, there's something that you said earlier on, because what it is that the foundation guys were different from the guys that actually sort of put up the building.
Yeah.
That's what I wasn't aware of, because we had a different crew that did the foundation for us.
Yeah, no, I know. That was Mansour, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mansour.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was Alpha Earthworks that came along and did the building work.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, stage 3, where you wanted to talk about the borehole.
Yeah, the borehole. Yeah, that's it. That's the first thing that we put on the land when we got it, was the borehole.
So that's to basically give a source of water to the builders.
Yeah, so
otherwise it would have been difficult for them to build. Not saying they wouldn't build, because they still would. And in Gambia they always find some kind of way. Yeah. But it just makes it easier for them to have straight access to water. Yeah. And I did explain what a borehole is in the last video. But yeah, it's a tank where the water comes from underneath the ground, basically, and it's pumped into the tank, where usually it's on either some kind of stilts or sometimes it's on top of buildings. On the top of buildings, I would not advise that entirely, but anyway, continue.
Right, and so the borehole that we had here was a solar borehole. The reason for that, because at the time there was no electric to the land, so we needed some sort of way of doing this, so that a pump could bring up the water from 21 meters down in the ground. Yeah. And so we had a solar borehole, and that worked quite well for quite a while. But then after a while, we started finding that it was beginning to be a bit of a problem, because it's like the pump was never strong enough, and you always had to be maintaining it all the time and things like that.
So that's more since we've moved in, you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. And even actually, I do remember during the time when they were building, when it was during raining season and it was cloudy, sometimes they would say they didn't have any water. Or they ran out of water. Yeah. So I don't know if maybe we would advise to get a stronger, bigger pump, or more solar panels. Yeah,
you could either get a bigger pump, or you could have, say, a generator as a backup. But normally there's no
electrical point.
Yeah, but a generator, it doesn't matter. A generator generates electricity, doesn't it? So
I know that you know as well. Oh gosh, I'm not well.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So we ended up with a solar borehole, but we've since changed that since we've been here. Yeah. Because we just found it a little bit.
It was kind of temperamental, wasn't it?
It was kind of temperamental, and I mean, ended up I had about 2 different solar pumps at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And this is like the update, basically, to the
So before we carry on into the update, there was something I was going to say. Oh, because you mentioned the electric, that there was no electric. So one thing that I would advise that would make life easier, when you do look for land, try and see if you can find a piece of land close to a pole that's possibly already there, so that all you have to do is have your wire. I think you have to pay for the wires or something to then be run into the house. Because if not, I mean, it's entirely up to you. It depends how, how your expenses are, etc. But what you would have to do then is to pay NAWEC to actually come and put in a pole in the first place.
It depends on how many poles. Sorry to come. But it depends. If you're far away from it, if you're lucky, you might just be 1 pole away from it. But if you're unlucky, it could be 5 or 6 poles away from it.
So then
or
you
7 poles.
Pay.
So you have to pay for every single pole to get it to your property.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Luckily here, where we are, and in this compound, there's electric pole just
over there.
Just across the way from the land itself. So we didn't have to pay for any poles at all.
I mean, I suppose it's dependent also if you are going 100% solar.
Yeah, if you're going 100% solar, then you sort of need to worry about those kind of things.
Yeah.
That's what we were going to do here, but it's just that costs.
Yeah, they can just keep mounting.
Costs mounting because, as I said before, are we straying away from what we're supposed to?
No, so now we can go into, I suppose, stage 4, because that's kind of like talking about stage 4. So stage 4 is more about the finishings, which we never spoke about because we didn't get to that point in the last video. So so that's part of finishing. So
anyhow, one thing that we were not aware of was the fact that the finishing you have to pay for as an extra. And that's the other thing as well, because when you do get, like, say, what is it? I can't remember. I'm trying to think about the name of it's bill of sales or something like that. The thing that you do get to tell you what it is, because basically when you go to a contractor and he draws up, I can't remember the exact name for the thing. Hopefully we can put it.
Probably. But the thing is, this is more relatable to the specific company that we use. I don't know if everyone does it.
Yeah, everybody does it.
Oh, okay.
Because when you do draw a contract, what you have to do is that a builder's going to come and say to you, okay, I'll put up your building, but you can only have so many lights, so many sockets,
so many windows,
so many light switches, and all of those kind of stuff. All of those kind of things.
And the size of the windows.
And the size of the
wanted
windows.
Bigger windows.
And the size of the windows. Not only that as well, the other thing that we weren't aware of is the fact that, like, the fancy ceiling work that we don't have, like say the plateau work on the ceiling, that's an extra. So all of those things are extras because they're called, it's not, which is only fair, because what it is that when a contractor comes and he puts up a contract together,
basic.
Yeah, it's just basic. He just gives you the basic things. If you want anything extra, then you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's what we had to end up doing basically, because we had to pay more for the lights, because we had a lot more lights we ended up with a lot more lights than were permitted. Sockets as well, because I always made sure that we had enough sockets in the house so that no matter where you are, you should be able to find a plug point. And the other thing as well was that all verandas in the compound have got sockets leading on the outside, so that if you need electric when you're on the outside and anything, you've got it there. If you're sitting in the veranda, you need to charge your phone or anything like that, you can do that.
Yes. And I think one thing I've noticed though a lot since being here and going into certain Gambian households, they don't tend to put a lot of lights. It always seems to be very dark inside. But I think that is more so because they're more used to living outside than inside, whereas we're used to more living inside than outside. So I think those are reasons why, especially because the contractor that we used at the time is a Gambian. So, you know, those type of things are where you see differences that lie within how you want things in your house as well. So I think that might have been part of the reason.
Yeah, it could well be as well. But not only that as well, because it might not have mattered so much if, like, say, it wasn't just going to be brickwork. If it was going to be painted, then you won't need as many lights. The main reason why we had to have I wanted so many more lights is the fact that I know that if you're just going to have brickwork, you're going to need light, because you're not going to have no white areas to bounce off the light.
Yeah.
To make the place look brighter.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. So in the end, we ended up having a lot more lights than which we had to pay for. The wind, again, what Aisha mentioned about the windows, we had to do the same thing with the windows as well. Yeah. Because then, we had to pay extra for the windows. Like say, the width for the windows were a lot bigger than what was allowed for.
In the bill of quantities. That's it. And not just a pretty face.
No comment.
Anyway. So what about, when it came to finishing, oh dear.
What can that matter?
Oh, there were so many obstacles that we came across.
Yes.
In the last video, we were very happy with the work, and then as things went on, we kept coming up to obstacle amongst obstacle. So one that I remember majorly was the tiling. The floor tiling. The tiler that we initially had was very junior.
Junior, he was an apprentice.
We're not going to swear.
He was an apprentice basically, because I come from the building trade, because I'm a qualified decorator, and I used to do all of those things back in the UK. I used to do tiling, I used to do painting, I used to do paper hanging, I did a certain amount of electrics, I did plumbing, I did a certain amount of carpentry. So it's not like I don't know what good workmen look like.
Yeah, but you also did it to a very high standard. Dad was very good. He worked in, he's been very humble. He worked in some very, very high-end buildings and stuff, and did all this stuff. Like, I'm not gonna toot your horn too much.
I'll pay you later.
But he was really, really good at his job. Very observant. Very, listen, just good, very good, not good, fantastic. So he knows what he's talking about. So I don't know how you must have felt when
I saw the guy, the way that he tiled, but in the end we had to give him his marching orders.
Yeah, because he was just wasting money. In means of, basically, because we had bought a certain number of tiles. So you are told you've got so many square meters in your house or in each room, wherever you're going to put the tiles. This is how many tiles you need to get. Went and bought those tiles and had to end up buying, I don't know how much more on top of that, because the wastage was just incredible. Like, the cuts were, when I say incredible, I don't mean good. I mean like, wow.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I think the worst tiler in the Gambia must have come here and worked in this place. Seriously.
Oh, but he was a young boy though. He just was basic. I just feel like he was told to do a job when he was way too junior to do it. And we didn't know. We didn't have any clue. We trusted in the contractor that we had, and that he was going to bring in the correct type of workers, and he didn't.
He brought in a sour lemon.
And
very, very sour lemon.
And we gave him a few chances. He said he's going to correct it, but he still kept doing the same things consistently. So Dad basically had to tell him he had to leave.
And not only that as well, because even up to today we still have to correct some of the work that he did. Because the tiling that he did or him and his crew did in, like say, in the guest toilet, is atrocious.
It's really bad.
I mean, atrocious.
We've really learned our lessons since then.
It is atrocious.
Yeah.
It is atrocious.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, we had to take down tiles in the bathroom, because in Mum and Dad's bathroom, because he had done a really bad job at lining it up, because it was supposed to be at a certain height, and when it reached the door, and one side was here, the other side was here, basically like how my hands are. It was just the workmanship in general. Anyway, he wasn't very good.
But the flip side of that is the fact that we ended up with a friend. Stick Tyler.
Yes, he's the guy that I used at one of my projects. I met him through one of my clients, and since then we've used him for so many things.
Yeah.
He's just wonderful. I love him so much. Yeah. I almost don't want to share him, but I want it for him, so I will put his name and number. It's Nuha Darboe. He's absolutely brilliant.
Finisher, brilliant finisher.
He's great.
Brilliant.
He's great.
Brilliant finisher.
He's very, very good. And not just that, his work is good, his workmanship. He comes to work at good times. He works. He'll come here from 9 and be here till 6 or 7, like non-stop working. Like, he's a serious worker, and he doesn't just phone you and tell you some rubbish, some blah blah. He actually turns up. If he can't come, he'll let you know or whatever. He's very, very good. I've worked with him on so many different projects, not just here at my house. He's excellent. So I will give you his details down below.
He not only ties as well, because he does paintings, and he does building work.
He does building, he builds as well.
He does general building work as well.
Yeah,
because it's a great thing that he came at the right time, because the roof terrace had to be tiled, and that's 320 square meters of tiling up there. And I'm telling you, it makes me want to just rip up the tiles in here. Yeah,
and the whole house.
And just dash it away and just get him to come and do it, which we'll do eventually.
He's he's honestly, when I tell you, you know me, I don't tell you foolishness. He's very good. Very, very good. So then I think the only other person that was really good, that was say, and I'm not disrespecting anybody, because I don't want people that worked on this house that know us to feel like I'm disrespecting them. I'm not. But at the end of the day, sometimes we all know that we could have possibly done a bit of a better job with certain things. But the other guys that were good were the plateers, the guys that did the ceiling.
Yeah, the ceiling work was good. Yeah, those guys were good.
Yeah, they were just did what they had to do and out. Like, they did what they did very well. The only thing is, at that point of building, it can get very messy, like it goes everywhere. But they were really good. We did have a painter, I think.
Bit of a tosher, as they would say in England.
Yeah, wasn't the
it's a bit of a tosher, as you say in the UK.
The one thing I've noticed here is a lot of painters, they don't do the base work, the prep work that I have very much learned from my father. They don't do prep work, so people will say that they paint, and they don't really. Anyone can paint, anyone can just say I'm going to paint, but you've got to do the prep work to make sure that it's actually going to last and be long lasting and be there for for however long it should last.
Well, in my trade that I was in, what they used to say is that everybody thinks when you can piss you can paint. That's not the way it goes.
So cockney. Yeah.
That's not the way it goes. It's not the way it goes. A painter, you've got toshers and you've got painters, you've got finishers.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And we ended up with a bit of a tosher, because you painted over light switches and sockets, and there was paint drips all over, because as you can see, they had to varnish the inside of it, which I didn't really want to do, but they did it before we could even get here.
They
to stop them.
It was too late.
It was too late to stop them, because I never wanted this dark finish in here.
Yeah, because it changed the colour of the we can't speak, bricks.
The earth blocks.
The earth blocks. Oh yeah, that's another thing that we didn't mention, because in the last video we were told that earth blocks are breathable, and that the house is going to be quite cool.
It is to a certain degree, but then what we've got, you got to remember, we've got 320 square meters of concrete on top of us.
Nah, come on now. When they said it was going to be breathable, I was expecting breathable.
Yeah, but then you've got 320 square meters of concrete on top of you.
According to me, they are not breathable. The house, especially my room, used to get exceptionally hot. Like, it's not so bad now, because there was a tree that was literally right opposite my room, very, very big old mango tree, and someone has recently bought that land, so they've actually cut the tree down, so it's actually helped to circulate the air coming through my room. But it doesn't, like, when it's proper hot and we come in from when we've gone out, the house is baking. It's not cool. There's no point. Listen, for me personally, I don't think it makes any difference.
It does.
I think he's in denial.
I'm not in denial.
Denial is not only a river in Egypt.
It's because you want AC and you can't.
Yes, I do want AC. Me, these lot don't believe in AC. Me, I believe in AC. I believe in feeling cool. I'm not into this hot, sweaty.
You can condition air. Tell me that backside.
Oh well. Anyway, Dad, come on, please, because I need my adverts. Yeah. So what else? Oh, also, the contractor. We ran into quite a few obstacles. Because from the plans from the beginning said that there was going to be a roof terrace and that there was going to be stairs leading up to the roof terrace, but for some reason that was not quantified. So then that became an added extra cost at some point during building. Yeah,
it wasn't. It just wasn't the stairs. It was the whole of the banter bar. The whole of the top section.
Yeah, so we got a banter bar upstairs.
Yeah, so basically that wasn't quantified. I think we've forgotten about that.
No, I didn't, because by that time I was finished with him, you know. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm very much, I don't want to be negative and downgrade anybody, but I'm also not going to lie. Yeah,
because I hear that, because I've forgotten about that. Because apparently the top section, the banter bar wasn't, unlike say I think the banter bar and the wall upstairs wasn't sort of quantified, so that was another added cost that we had to come to some sort of compromise. And then in order for the building work to go on. Yeah. And in any case, anyway, what did happen was that as soon as we were the same builder, we had a separate contractor to do the foundation.
Yeah.
And then we had this builder that was going to do the building
rest
work,
of the house,
of the house, which would include the electrics and everything and all that kind of stuff, the windows and whatever, and the tiling inside. But then it got to the stage where there were too many promises made and not enough of them kept.
Yeah, because what was happening is that for days no one was turning up for work. When we were told people were supposed to come in for work, and then when they did come, they only came for less than an hour or maybe an hour or two, and then they were gone, and this was going on for weeks. For me personally, I was just tired of it, and I was like, I think we just need to separate and just find other workers, because it was just a finishing. So, you know, by that time I had already been working on projects myself, so I knew of workers that we could use, and I was just like, you know, sometimes you just have to cut your losses and just part ways. It just didn't work out for us. Not saying that the contractor that we mentioned wouldn't work for you or anybody else. I'm not saying he was terrible. I just think the communication could have been a lot better. And it's not like we didn't try. We tried so many times.
Yeah, and we were with him for about 2 years. Yeah, because the building work started in 2019. I think he started doing, like, say, the actual house itself in 2020. But in February 2020, but by April 2022 we parted ways.
Yeah, it was just time to move on. Not saying he's not bad, he's a nice guy. You know, I genuinely hope that, you know, lessons were learned. We definitely learned a lot of lessons during that time period. And I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend him. I would just say just be aware of, you know, how things went with us. And, you know, so I'll still put his name and his details in the description box if you would like, you know, to work with them. They're called Earthworks Construction. Yeah, I just feel like things could have gone a lot better, and that's it, really. Yeah.
But then it was a good thing, because in the end, by then we got to know, that's how we got to know about Nuha and his team.
It was it's because of my old client, like I mentioned. Yeah. So
there was Nuha, and there was Sergio, which we used to call him the machine.
He's such a hard worker. I love Sergio.
And Gassama.
Yeah.
Gassama is the man that does, like, say, the rendering and all that kind of stuff. the plaster work.
Yeah.
He does that. And Nuha does a certain amount of plaster work. But if Nuha is
Busy.
if he knows somebody that can do stuff better than what he does, he'll bring that person in.
Yeah, true things, yeah.
And that person will do it because this guy specializes in that.
Yeah.
And he is.
Yeah. So they ended up finishing like the outside. We got paving stones. They did all of that. And the thing is,
garage.
they rendered the garage.
Yeah, like the handrail.
The handrail. So they really helped to just fix up the house. They did all the tiling on the roof. And I'm saying this, and I know people are going to want to see, and I'm really sorry, I'm not going to show any more of the house, just for security reasons and things of that nature. So I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to show you.
I'm not.
So we have to, be mindful of things of that nature. But just know they are very good, and hopefully you know by now that you can trust what I say. They did so much. They fixed up cracks on the fencing, any pointing that was needing to do on the outside of the house, borders.
Yeah, the finished tiling that needed to be done.
Yeah, because the tiling, oh my gosh, like we said, it wasn't done very well. So
so I mean, all around, like say the verandas, there had to be finishing work that needed to be done on all the verandas.
Yeah.
And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 verandas.
Yeah. So they did a great job. Did a great job. Please don't busy up my friend too much that I can't work with him. Like, he's so good, honestly. He's brilliant. And I will continue working with him till whenever, or I'll continue, giving my recommendations to people for him. He's absolutely brilliant, and I don't use that word lightly at all.
Yeah, he's a very conscientious man.
Yeah, and he's just nice to be around as well. He's just nice, decent.
One thing that we haven't mentioned, I think one of the most cost-effective things I think that we've put in the house so far has been the solar water heater. That has been a champion because all it takes is just for the pump to pump water up to because it's sitting on the roof terrace. All it takes is just for the pump to pump the water up to there, and that was it. Yeah, and it gets really hot. And it gets really hot. So you've got water. So we don't even think about it. So that means that we don't have these great big horrible heaters that you have. In your bathroom, and you don't have to be relying on an outlet. To heat your water. I mean, it's okay if you can go commando and go and use cold water, but you're not here with it. Because otherwise what you usually have are, like what Dad said, these water, I'll see if I find a picture, I'm not sure, but these water heating tanks that you have usually in the bathroom, and it will be, I don't know, it could be above the toilet. I've seen it in some places, or in the corner of your bathroom, and usually you need one for each bathroom, from what I think. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you need one for each bathroom. But we just have, like Dad said, the one solar water heater that is literally on the roof, and that goes to all of our bathrooms. It goes into the ensuite bathroom. Oh, and the kitchen. It goes into the kitchen. It goes into the utility room, it goes into the guest toilet, and it goes into the shared bathroom. Yeah, so it's really simple. Oh, one other thing that I really wanted to mention was one thing that we learnt is that, because we were told before we started like buying things for the house, like taps, door handles, etc., we were told not to bother buy them from Gambia because they tend to not last long. But we were like, no, we want to buy it in-house because obviously we want the money to go to the people here, etc. But if I'm really honest, they weren't lying. So there are a few places you can quote unquote rely on to get like some things. Like I would say the things that we've got from Emporium, they're not too bad. Is it where we got like, I suppose the kitchen from Emporium, isn't it? Yeah, the kitchen.
That's been good.
Yeah, because we didn't want a local kitchen, because the
Yeah.
house that we were before, we could have got a carpenter to build your kitchen, but then what then happens is that because the wood hasn't been cured for long enough, what then happens is that, like say during, like say the dry season,
It swells.
no, during the rainy season,
Yeah, it swells. Yeah.
and then during the dry season it contracts,
Yeah.
and
So then sometimes the doors aren't shutting
shut
properly.
and all that, because that's the kitchen that we had in Kotu.
Yeah.
So when we came here, we made sure that we got ourselves a kitchen from a ready-made kitchen,
Yeah.
basically. A ready-made kitchen, so that comes and it's fitted, and it's been okay so far.
Yeah, it's been, but we've had it for quite a while now.
Yeah, we've been here since when? Was it 2000? We had it for about 2 years now.
Yeah, and they're not too badly priced. Like they've got really super high end, and then we've got middle end, and I suppose lower, more basic. So you know the pricing is not that bad at all. I would recommend getting your kitchen from there. Again, I'll put that information in the description box. Oh, I forgot. Gosh, we've got so far. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. Any questions that you might have, you can ask me in the comments, obviously. I almost forgot my words. But yeah, so like getting things like door handles. We've had door handles break, especially because one of the doors wasn't fitted properly. That was due to the previous. Oh, and Dad mentioned Kotu. We were renting in a house in Kotu South for about just over a year.
No, it's nearly 2 years.
Oh,
now.
wow. Okay, well, I wasn't there for that long. Yeah, for about 2 years, Mum and Dad were renting there while this house was being built. So that's why I mentioned when we were in Kotu, yeah, because the kitchen there just wasn't up to the standard that we would usually like to see. And then we found a really good carpenter as well. I was recommended him by a lady that she owns a cafe in Madiba Mall, Cafe Zola, and I saw the work there and I was complimenting it. So she was like, no, Aisha, I've got to give you this boy's number. He's very young, but he's really, really good. So he came in and has done so much work in our house, built things in wardrobes in our bedrooms, cupboards, TV unit, cupboards in the utility room. I think that's it.
For the bathroom.
Cupboards for the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to correct you.
Oh,
'cause
sorry.
I was in the trade.
Oh, sorry.
He's a cabinet maker.
Oh, sorry, a cabinet. Well, he doesn't call himself that.
No,
He calls himself a carpenter.
Yeah, but he's a cabinet maker. There's a difference, because there are certain people. A carpenter. There's different. Carpentry is split into different sections. It's just like in anything. It's all stripped into different sections. People that can sort of make your wardrobe and come and fit it in your house, those are called cabinet makers.
Yeah.
Or if they can come and make your kitchen for you and come and fit it for you, they're cabinet makers.
Yeah.
They're not carpenters. Ordinary carpenter would come and say maybe do a door frame or fit a door frame, fit a door for you, fit a lock in and lock, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they just do basic things, but this guy's a cabinet maker.
He's very good.
Yeah, he is very good.
You can show him a picture of something that you would like and he'll build it for you. He's really good. You just give him the measurements and everything. He's very attentive, good with attention to detail. The only thing is, I would say, his paintwork is good because he uses the, what's it called? Spray paint, so it comes out really nice finish. But longevity, like I would say to him that it would be good if he just did a couple things just to make sure it lasts a bit longer, because sometimes the knots on the wood will come up over time, which has happened here. But apart from that, he's great. He's very, very good. I've had him work on some of my other projects as well. He worked on my project, so this I can show you. He worked on my project in Manjai, did the woodwork there. He's very, very, very good. So again, I will share him with you, but please don't back up my friend. Listen, I need to be able to use these people same way still, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'll put his information down. His name is Omar, as Dad will be like, I didn't say his name right. Omar. Yeah, Omar. And don't worry, I know you're gonna whatever.
You said it right that time. That's why you said it. It's not Omar like they say.
Yeah, but do you know how nobody pronounces my name correctly? Anyway, we're not gonna go there. But yeah, so he's very, very good as well. Who else did we have work here? I think that was it, really, isn't it? So far, there's still things that we still want to finish on the house, and just to get it to a standard. I mean, the house is gorgeous. Like the house has come out really well despite everything.
And I mean, a question that a lot of people might be asking is that, is it finished? Not yet.
Still some bits.
I'd say about 95% finished. Yeah. It's about 95% finished. There's certain other things that we still need to do. As I said, and the outside of the place still needs painting again. Inside almost needs painting right now.
Yeah.
The outside hasn't been painted ever since that we've been here, so the outside is going to need painting at some point.
Yeah.
And I mean, the landscaping outside has been done already. That's done. And I mean, apart from certain little bits and pieces that we want done inside, I mean, there are. We need to do the railings for the stairs. Just certain little things that we need to do.
But the house is basically functional. You know, we can live in it and live in it quite well.
But when we came here, first of all, we had no windows.
Yeah, that was something else.
April 2021.
Oh my God.
We came here, there were no windows, there was just the shutters.
Yeah. Luckily we had that, because they're basically doors on the window.
So that's what we were using as windows until eventually the windows were done.
Yeah.
But as I said, when we came here, there were no windows, we never had doors to our bedrooms.
The doors, I forgot about that.
We never had doors to our bedrooms or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I had to sort of try and make a makeshift kitchen.
We didn't have the, because I think we had the sink. Did we have the sink?
No, I had to go out there and buy the sink. I had to go out there and buy the sink.
And that was due to the fact that, because basically we were told that the house was going to be finished by a certain time, but it wasn't, and it kept getting pushed back, and that just meant having to spend more money in places that just you didn't want to. So we were like, we just have to move because things are taking way too long. So I would say, overestimate how long it's going to take. Just to give yourself that time so you don't have to rush certain things.
And you might still have to rush certain things because it's like my brothers over here, some of my brothers over here, they're not about urgency.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, not about urgency. Oh, we'll be alright tomorrow, inshallah.
Yeah, no, I'm not feeling that, I'm sorry.
I'm not feeling that.
No, because you can control yourself and know that if you need to be somewhere at a certain time, and if there's any issues, then you communicate. Full stop. I'm sorry, I'm just not into that. I'm really not. And I don't mean to disrespect anyone, but I'm not. No. Yeah. So, but I can't think of anything else.
Really, yes.
There was something Dad really wanted me to let you guys know about, and we forgot to mention it in the video. That is to do with plumbing. So any plumbing that was done in the house, he asked them to have it above ground rather than put underground and cemented over, because if there's any leak or any problems, then you're going to have to dig up your ground, break the tiles and everything to fix it, and then have to refix that flooring again. So this just helps you to avoid that. You can cover it up with a cupboard or a box or something. There's ways to make it look nice. So anyway, that's what we have done here at our house.
I did want to mention about the water heater, which I did. That's the you got to show them a picture.
I'll take a picture of the water heater. We got it from, wasn't it from Crestone?
Yeah, Crestone.
So
Crestone, which is just
it's in Bigelow.
It's in Bigelow, almost opposite the Oryx in Bigelow. The opposite side of the Oryx in Bigelow.
The petrol station.
Oryx petrol station in Bigelow.
So I'll put that down in the description box below as well. They sell lights in there too if you want to buy lights. I've never bought. No, we did buy lights, didn't we?
We did. We said the rope light.
Because I've also bought rope light from there for another project as well.
And like I said, the solar lights that we've got on the outside.
We bought
those from there.
But they didn't last very long.
No, they lasted about a year and a half. No, was it?
It didn't last very long.
That's it. The taps that you were talking about and the handles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we had to replace. Basically, all the handles, all the window handles had to be replaced. Because we were warned, but we thought, we want to be Gambian.
Yeah.
So in the end, I had to when I went to the UK one time, we had to get some taps and we had to get, so like all like say the sink taps, like say the sink in like say our bathroom, the shared bathroom, and well, the toilet and everything, all of that had to be changed.
Yeah, because unfortunately some things that are brought here are cheap, and you know, they don't really care. A lot of the outside world, they don't care so much about the quality of what Africa has. So a lot of cheap things are brought here, or you know, there's not quality control in that instance. So there are literally maybe 2 places I would recommend. I would say Emporium, where they have the DIY shop. I think it's DIY, isn't it? DIY Emporium. And then possibly Batimat. The only reason why I say possibly is because Batimat's quite expensive, so it might be cheaper if you just brought it here. There is, actually there's another person that I can recommend, and I will put into the description box. There is a guy that we order things via, and they get flown in really quickly. Within about 5 days you can have them once they receive it. So you could order things like maybe taps, small things, and send them over. Yeah, it's called M&M Logistics, so I'll put that in the description box as well. It's really handy. Even if you just want to order like clothes and stuff like that, you can use them too. I've done that. Just trying to think if there's anything else. Can't think of anything else.
Yeah, just the fact that we had to end up paying for a lot of different kind of stuff like fans, tiles, lights.
Yeah, so you have to, so you might have your bill of quantities, but just have residuals.
Yeah, and make sure you know exactly whatever's on the bill of quantities is going to be enough oil. It's going to be hard for you to know.
Yeah, I just think you always need to have some funds that's just to the side, that you know you can potentially use just in case. Because I think that is just in general. Even if you're doing like say refurbishing or whatever in the UK, you would still need to have that just on the side, just in case. It's the same goes for here. It might be shown at one price by the contractors, but just have something in your back pocket just in case, I would say. The upkeep of maintenance, like when it comes to having a house in this kind of climate, you're going to have to, I would say once a year, maybe even once or twice a year, like reseal your windows, because otherwise you're going to get water coming in when it's raining. Just check on your roofing, make sure there's no leaks coming in as well.
Yeah, because
any painting and things like that will most likely need to be redone as well. Sorry.
Oh yeah. In addition to that, it's a good thing that you brought that up, because if I'd known when the architect did the drawing for the house, I would have made sure that every single window on the house had a balcony or some kind of a veranda, because then that way it's protected from the rain, basically.
Yeah, and even from the sun.
And from the sun as well. Because like say there are 4 windows in this house that are exposed to the elements, I would say. They're not under a veranda, so those are the windows that we have to make sure that every year, because this tropical weather just don't take no prisoners.
Yeah, because it's like
don't take no prisoners. You put sealant around the window, you think to yourself it's going to last you 2 years. It's not. Lasts about 6 or 7 months. Yeah. During the rain season, and when the heat comes, just burn off everything. Yeah. And then because that's what happened. Because the first year we were here, we sealed the windows and everything was okay. So the second rainy season we spent here, we thought, oh, we shouldn't need to put anything around the windows. Wrong. Had to go around and we seal all of those windows, because by then the heat had nyama everything. Like say the sealant had been mashed up on it. So if you are going to have windows that are in the extremities of the house without a veranda or some kind of covering, you have to maintain those windows every year.
Yeah, you do. The maintenance of having a house in tropical climates is a lot higher than having one within, say, the UK type of climate. Just due to the sun and everything. So,
and not only that, the heat, because if you've got 2 different materials, it doesn't matter if it's wood when you've got stone and wood or stone and metal, there's always going to be movement amongst those two items. So that's what causes it basically, because when it gets really hot, it expands and then it contracts, expands and then it contracts, expands and then it contracts. Next time it expands again, it just messes up whatever ceiling that you have there. So that means that you have to make sure, if you've got exposed windows, seal them every year. And make sure you've got threshold steps on every single doorway that you have. That's the other thing, because they weren't going to put any threshold steps on, like I said, on the doors. We insisted that those threshold steps were put in there, because otherwise, what you'd have creepy crawlies coming in the house. You'd have water coming in the house when it's raining and all that kind of stuff. And because the contractor wasn't going to do that. We had to make sure that we had threshold steps on every single doorway in the house. Because otherwise you'd have creepy crawlies and water coming in, especially during the rainy season. See, these things keep coming to me after thought. It's an afterthought.
But it's okay, it's how it goes. So that's as much as we can remember right now anyway. If there's anything, then maybe we'll come back and do another one. But yes, so I suppose that's it really when it comes to building. Don't have much else because this is the one and only house that we've built, and I don't know if I'm going to be building or not.
I want to. I'm going to.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I want to, because I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do. Learn my lesson.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and like I said, I hope everything that we told you helps you in your journey with your building whatever it is that you decide to build. Any questions that you do have, please ask me in the description box below. Anything, if you are going to ask me about showing the house, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to. So yeah, but please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.